Hello guys, welcome to OWNAGE Time 13. Today we are going to be playing some Holy Paladin PvP, and our comp of choice is Holy Paladin Rogue Enhancement Shaman. You guys know this shaman very well with that crazy intense voice. But we are up against a Mage Lock Shaman. As you can see, I'm just going back and forth behind this coffin here. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to avoid that initial polymorph from the Mage. The Mage pretty much always opens with a sheep on the healer out of invisibility, and it's pretty hard to avoid the sheep if he's just coming out of invis. But your kill target's definitely going to be the mage, and you're going to want to get full hexes, hodges, blinds, gouges on that shaman. He got smoke bombed down to about a third health. I believe Nature Swiftness was used. And of course I get feared, chink at that, which leads me to the biggest kind of point of this fight, I think. Is that basically, guys, you see how I'm playing, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's probably giving you a headache watching this, but that's how Holy Paladins heal. Like, you have to be doing this to line of sight everything. And of course, me, stupid me, I get sheeped, of course, because I wasn't paying attention. You don't have things like Shadow Word Death, you have Hand of Sacrifice, but like LOSing and positioning is super important. So go back and forth, avoid those sheeps, avoid those fears, and you will do so much better if you are struggling in arena. Like, I can't even tell you guys. And of course you're going to be wanting to fake cast for that spell lock and counter spell. That's extremely important. Look at that, guys. Of course he's going to counterspell me, so don't cast if the mage is by you. Always fake cast. The Warlock's over here by me, completely leaving his mage alone. No clue why he did that, as if he's going to kill a Holy Paladin. So there you go, another ice block out of the mage. We're doing great so far. Shaman's struggling to keep him up. 10% he goes down. Pretty much, guys, the Shaman just fell behind on heals because we had a full blind, no trinket, and the Warlock didn't do too good of a job healing. Alright, so these next two fights, I'm going to call them mistake games. I think I make a lot of mistakes, like this one, walking into the priest and letting him fear me. That's going to be a common theme throughout these next two fights here, is walking into priests and letting them fear me, or completely forgetting about a priest and letting the fear just happen. Like, that's something I really need to work on. But yeah, we are up against a DK, priest, and ret paladin here, so you're definitely going to want to kill the DK. So especially versus priest healer teams with melee on him, you don't need to line of sight anything except maybe like trying to like Hand of Sacrifice, repentance, and things like that. Basically the main thing is avoiding the priest fears. I mean, if you're forgetting about priest fears, like that's the worst thing that you could do. Like, I'm trying to think of like what I could tell you guys to help you out versus this comp. They have a lot of instant cast CCs, so there's not much you can do about that. But there's only pretty much like one thing you can do is, I mean, other than fake cast, is avoiding those priest fears. And of course, if you see the priest coming over to you, make sure you tell one of your teammates to get a stun, get a gouge, get a slow, something on the priest so that you can get away. Next up is against a shatter play, and this one was a crazy long shatter play fight. I believe it's over like 3 minutes long, and in 3 versus 3 matches, guys, 3 minutes long is a long time, or so it feels. So like I said earlier, guys, the mage comes out of the invisibility and immediately polymorphs you. Those are extremely hard to preemptively hand of sacrifice or line of sight, because if they're just coming out of invis, like, it doesn't give you much reaction time at all. So they're lining up CC with another silence into a Hammer of Justice, which I trinket. My rogue is barely staying alive. I get psychic horrored. The mage comes over, resheeps me for the 3rd time now. It's only 2 seconds. We smoke bomb defensively. Crazy amounts of stuff's going on right now. I kind of asked for that fear. However, at this point in the game, guys, it's really hard to avoid priest fears. You know, I mean, you're just trying to have your rogue survive. I mean, like, avoiding fears is like typically secondary on your mind. But if you can kind of bump up avoiding fears on your priority list, that's definitely going to be beneficial. I have an alt priest myself, and when paladins completely avoid all my fears, it is so frustrating and effective. You could try and get off kicks on like shatter combos or mind blasts or things like that, but honestly, if that distracts you from healing, or if you can't heal efficiently, or if you use wrong cooldowns, like, don't do that. But if you are a skilled paladin, definitely work on getting rebukes on, you know, shatter combos, polymorphs, things like that, especially if all the casters are right next to you like this. And of course I forget about the priest, so I get a full 8-second fear. And that fear is not alone, of course it ends in a full 8-second polymorph. And in this fight, guys, we are on the Shadow Priest. I think going on Mage or Shadow Priest is super effective if you can stick on them, especially if you have a Rogue and Enhancement Shaman just blowing out that Priest. And that just about wraps it up for this OWNAGE time, guys. Please let me know your feedback on this, and be sure and rate it thumbs up if you enjoyed this video here. If you want to see a previous 2200 full-length rated Battleground, click here. And if you guys would like to check out me answering the top 13 private messages I get, click here. I would like to thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, Sacredheals here. See you guys next time.